Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
I'm back and I'm mad!
Hello everybody, welcome to our Unofficial Hobby Hangout. As you can see, someone's missing. Jerry says apologies for not being here tonight. He's got a buttload of things to do, so we'll just replace him with a static image then. But no worries, I won't be sitting here just muffling along on small tiny miniatures and make you watch my fumbly attempts of assembling Star Wars Legion minis. I actually got a list of projects I want to show to you. And yes, first of all, hello Danley, Crispin, Redverse, Demon Sub, and Toros. No, Jerry's power isn't out, but he's using hands and feet to paint stuff and get things ready. He's a real painting machine right now. I don't know what exactly he's doing, because that's none of my business, but he's really on a tight schedule. So I'm afraid you have to deal with me today. But don't let that be of any problem. Hello, Dutch. Silver Bayonet. Highly possible. Maybe some Moonstone, maybe some Bot Wars, maybe some, what's the face again? Gunslinger League from Wild West Exodus. We will see in time. Panzer Kaput on this show, yeah. I think that would be an interesting thing, but I don't know if he wants to be on camera. I think there's something about his wife in the background doesn't want to be on camera. Panzer, in case you're in the audience, let us know. Yeah, and I'm really disappointed that the team doesn't want to what's the word I'm looking for? Honor the work Crispin has done for his punchy 3D knuckle duster butt plug Jesus taco holder thingy. It's a piece of art. But then again, this is our first project. And let me see. Oh, Jerry's missing here also. Do we get him here? Again. So this, no, that's not the first one. This is the one. This is one. So this is Age of Invasion by Zoipenhead. And he's done Sea Wolves. So this is a project, I think we've been here more than once, and he's doing a splendid job of very colorful Vikings. And just to make sure everybody's on the same page, these are the projects I had on my follow list and that I got notifications for, so there's almost everything is new to me as well, because I have not time to look at projects during the day because I need to work. Yes, Crispin's 3D project is modern art, to say the least. So, Zoipenhead and his, where does he get these from? Does he say? Wargames Factory. For his, with some transfers, not saying from where they are. I'm guessing. My name memory is horrible. Demon Sub has been rimming some ghouls. Nice. Not safe for work, but who cares? What's that company called again that makes great transfers? I always forget. Rumbly, good evening. Welcome to the late show. We already had butt plugs and rimming ghouls, so Here we have Vikings. Maybe the pictures are a bit too bright, but all in all, I think we can say these colors are poppy. And just look at the detail of these transfers and shields. Almost too much detail for such small, tiny fighting men. Oh no! Bendy spears! Oh no! That's not happening. At least we can't see any mold lines right now. That's a transfer I've never seen. Somebody putting a weird face on his shield. Little big man could be, possibly. Crispin, if those were actually freehand, I'd be impressed beyond anything, simply because of the fact of how he does the repetition. Lovely set for Saga Age of Invasions. Though I'm not quite sure if they all count towards the same force. Late Roman. Early late Roman or late Roman? I don't know. And a bishop, because you can't go fighting without holy support. Nice work on this one. And I don't know if anybody else still has this problem. Every time I hear somebody talk about their lists for Saga and just talking about, this is 4 points, and then feels a bunch of minis. And my brain goes, no, those need to be more points. Many more points. Demon Sub gets buffering, he says. My scales are all green, so I'm guessing it's on your part. Or maybe it's just dumb fuck internet all over again. Yeah, Zoipinhead, nice work. Really looking forward on how much more there will be to this. Carrying on to our next project, which is this one. This is a short one. The Bellon has just one additional entry, and that is a female officer. And even though it's just this one picture here, I felt this was worthy of taking a look. Not so much because of the paint job, but simply because I personally don't see female officers in a regular historical game that often, which is kind of understandable. Hello, Panzer, because there aren't that many female officers, and the most female officers you see in non-historical games usually go the route of big, busty whatevers. And this is just, yeah, it's a female officer. To be fair, if he wouldn't have written female officer, I'd say it would be a bit hard to see, but then again, it's 28 mil. Make what of it what you will. Chainmail bikini babes, yeah, nuns with guns and giant knockers. Or you get the absolute opposite, and you've got a blacksmith for a woman or something, if you know what I mean. Which, to be fair, if you want to have that, is yours. Do it whatever you want, but having box standard, for lack of a better term, people of various genders in your games, I think, is always nice. Oh no, lost my key list. Where's my list? There's my list. It's much more easy if you have someone else doing this stuff. This is the next one. Fallout Scenery by Denzian. So we have also been here more than once. And yeah, not much else to say, but that he has actually gone out of his way and almost got every companion from Fallout New Vegas done, which is quite a feat because Fallout New Vegas has a lot of not opinions, companions, and it looks like the project system is failing again. Hmm. Well, Crispin, at that point you would have sky-clad officers, wouldn't you? Chat, let me know. Do you get anything from the project system at the moment, or is this again just on my side? For the last half hour, it worked great while I was getting projects up and running to look at tonight, and currently it's just, yeah, it's not really wanting to do anything, which is a shame because just look at this. These are, if I remember correctly, 3D prints you buy off Modifius. So you buy the model and you print it yourself. And the simple fact that they can just grab details from the game and put it out there, yeah, this is not looking very promising. Oh, I'm sorry, Denzian. I think we'll need to get back to this project at a later state. Oh, just when I was about to bail, you son of a gun. Ah, this is looking much better now. So, Rex with the artificial brain, rather the artificial dog with the real brain, EDE, Veronica, Arcade, Boone, Cass. Anybody who has played Fallout New Vegas surely knows the characters from the video game. And just look at these. Martian attacking. I'm not sure, is that the Voltec representative or is it Nick? I think it's a Voltec representative. Don't you just love yourself some 50s sci-fi? I personally do. And I wish they would do more games, not just on tabletop, but on the video game side of things. Yeah. Oh, Tabitha. Tabitha? Can't remember. Nightkin, female radio operator. Yeah, Panzer, the Fallout game really is something for itself. I'm still trying to wrap my heads around the rules and try to get the solo mode running, which shouldn't be too hard because Modifius themselves have a explanatory video showing how to do a single player game, but somehow I just don't get it. Oh, and just in case some of you weren't here last week or didn't get the memo, I think there is a possibility that in the Hobby Hangout that's between Christmas and New Year, I think it's the 27th, we will do something very special, which will include some greatest things of all time, if you catch my meaning. Could be that it's poorly written, could be that it's poorly explained in the video, or just that I can't bring myself to sit and watch somebody talk to a camera and not really having a camera presence, for lack of a better term. I know I myself, I'm not the greatest entertainer when I'm all by myself, but yeah. Perhaps maybe Dutch and Demon Sum are onto something, but we will see how technical restrictions will make anything viable happen. But there are plans in motion. And if everything fails, we'll just have a drink and talk shite about your projects, as we always do. And, excuse me, talking about projects, this is the next one. This is Galactic Gunslinger League by 42. We had been here before, but he has added more stuff. So I think last time, yeah, the Mandalorians. And now he's got even more of them done. With very interesting color schemes. So basically you just have ordinary Mandalorians, and it's more or less 3 colors. It's gray, blue, and 1 or 2 dots of green. But let me tell you, I really like the way these look. These really look nice. I would have to cross-reference if these are one-to-one replicas of actual Clan Ren and Night Owls, or if this is just his interpretation. But these really do look freaking nice. I could possibly be able to replicate stuff like the upper parts on the helmet if I really tempt myself. But then again, I would never, or at least in my current state of painting, not achieve anything that looks close to this as a final result. These are just ultra gorgeous. And this blue and yellow, it reminds me of something. Not Space Marines, something different, but I can't put my hand on it. Does it remind you of anything? I'm pretty sure I've seen that at some point. And if Ralph were here, he probably would be screaming right now. Hello, Taffy. Yes, I'm flying blind. My navigator has bailed. He needs to do paint work. A lot of. One major reason why this project in particular is interesting to me, because tomorrow, when there's the mumble and the jumble with Panzer and me, I will not be painting. I will be building. And I will be building even more. And then some. But I will start with these. So, lots of plastic crack to be had more tomorrow. And while I'm on the big screen, big shout out to Lena. She has sent me one of her doubles for, oh god, I already forgot, the Dunkeldorf miniatures. I've got Lemmy. I need to paint Lemmy. blue jeans, blackjack, bottle of whiskey, leather jacket, Lemmy. Now back to our project. So these are the specials that I'm going to be building tomorrow as well, if there's enough time. And this little rod, I don't think that's the one that's included with the kit. I'm pretty sure it's not. And I'm pretty mad that I don't have it. Because I will be using the just the ordinary acrylic rod that comes with this miniature. But just look at that finished paint job. Mine will be a bit more subtle. I'm guessing I'll be going for prime black, add details, done. Get him on the same level of paint that every other miniature in my Legion collection is. Because if I would do this level of detail on my minis, they would stand out like a sore thumb. Bright red and very noticeable. But yeah, these are very, very nicely done. You sodden bastard. Or to let someone else say,
Hey, fuck you.
see? 42, you are really a painting machine when it comes to Legion. How do you do this? Impossible. Well, other impossible things. Panzer, are you actually trying to get me on stream to buy stuff? You mad lad. Shopify. Oh yeah, I seen that one. Mr. Kill Mister. That's almost as good, maybe even better, but Doggeldorf has its features as well. I'm pretty sure there have been numerous other iterations of Lemmy. But back to... did I just put the link in? Yes, I did. No, Dutch, it didn't work for Bot War, because I already was very much into it. He didn't need to sell it to me, Rumbly. He just showed me a vendor. Not naming names here. So, oh, excuse me. Elysium 64 is going on Glorantha and RuneQuest. I think that was a gold button. Yes, Dutch, Fantasy Welt. One of the biggest suppliers in Germany, as I experience it more and more. So last time, where were we? We stopped when he was just about to bring out the guns that got him the golden button. So this is where we stopped. And this is more or less the stuff that actually brought him up to golden button levels. I think what has been shown predominantly was the Fenris Duck, the companion, and the big honking guy that for some odd reason still wears trousers. I mean, come on. If he's got a ice bear pelt, he doesn't need trousers now, does he? He could just go full Boris and let his schlong around. Rebooted his hobby mojo with Silver Bayonet project. Yeah, getting your hobby mojo back is really, I think, there's a medical paper in getting Hobby Mojo and getting out of the hobby again every time and again. Somebody should make it a subject for their medical studies. I think there's something worth exploring. I was wondering, I'm pretty sure I've seen these wall sections somewhere before, and I'm Fenris Games Robber City model. Can anybody tell me, was this a Kickstarter at some point in the more recent history? Because I'm pretty sure I've seen those interlocking mechanisms somewhere before, and I just can't put my finger on it. But the fact that they are with these interlocks on the side makes them modular and still very sturdy. Yeah, and then my personal bane, paperwork. It would be so much more easy to get into games if we were at the stage where we just need a talent chip and upload the rules into our brains. Because, yeah, as I've alluded to many a times, sorry, I'm really bad at learning rules by myself. I just can't. It's a very sad show if I'm trying to read anything, especially if it's not in a language I'm very fluent in. And let's face it, I may be able to read stuff in English, but comprehending what's written is another beast. Yeah. Speaking of beasts, and I'm pretty sure by this time you're already annoyed about my poor translations. Yeah, Johnny Mnemonic, or I think, was it Shadowrun or Cyberpunk? I think both used talent chips to upgrade. Though I might be mistaken. Adventures in the Frozen City by Rich. So what really made me laugh is the two hecklers in a ghost story. These are my two favorite characters of all time in almost any situations. What is not to love about them? And also something that has been going around. I feel people are going a very 60s vibe when doing the undead. Harryhausen seems to have some kind of resurgence with some people. Yeah, Waldorf and Statler. Though, who's Waldorf, who's Statler, Panzer? or do we switch it on a weekly basis? So this is the part where everybody who's watching this on YouTube now needs to censor this middle part of the picture because it has blue demon boobies. And some terrain, I think. Old Lord of the Rings stuff. And more zombies crawling up from the snow. Oh look, he's got something in his belly. I love that with Undead you are able to do such weird miniatures like creeping from the ground and are not just limited to either having someone stand somewhere, jump / fly, or be mounted on something. Undead are much more fun this way. Though I think additionally he could use maybe something that crawls out of a swamp or a puddle, which would again add to the creepiness. And I'm guessing blue is just for making sure it's a frost demon, nothing hot from hell. But just look at these skellybobs. What's not to love about skellybobs? Hello Martin, welcome to me flying solo. I mean, if you've got a decent set of skeleton models, they're most times easy to assemble. I'm really hard pressed to think of any model that is easier to paint than a naked skeleton. Primer it in a light gray or white, give it some bone color, wash over it, dry wash some lighter bone color, and you're done. What else do you need? I don't think ghosts are really that much more easy because the cloth is a large surface that doesn't really have anything to show for in regards of textures. So you need to put in some effort to make it look like good texture. But a skeleton? Just look at these happy fellows. And the ones with the armor and helmets remind me very much of... oh, I don't know the title in English. It's The Black Cauldron. That's more or less what they remind me of. Black Cauldron. No, Crispin, naked mole rats aren't really easy to paint. Conan could also be, but I think I'm thinking more of Black Cauldron, even though it's an animation. Yeah, Demon, so you're right. Mold lines on skeletons are possibly very bad, but for my part, even though my experience with skeletons is rather limited, have never really seen bad mold lines, be it the old skeletons from Keltos or the more recent ones from oh god, name slips me. Morgue miniatures. Fire and Ice is, yeah, Crispin, that's more or less an soft porn than an animation movie, I feel. And that the way they did the animation also has a name, a very special name, which name again escapes me, has also been used heavily in the movie Heavy Metal. Rotoscope, yes, thank you, Dutch. That's right, rotoscope. And I think the Hobbit, the animated movie, which has one of the greatest movie posters of all time. I think before we get too much off topic, we go to the next topic. Quarantine 37, Stargrave. So, Duck the Fuck. We've been here on off again, just like any IT crew does, and he has built some interesting terrain. So, not only terrain, he has been a very productive little Duck the Fuck mother ducker. So we left him with his poor sick worm, and then he took some Space Marines and added bits and bobs that don't belong on Space Marines normally. I think the most interesting addition to this is actually this guy's head on the far left. Oh, I'm pretty sure you can't see this right now. Fear not, there will be a larger image. Here he is. Here he comes. I just love the look on his face. It's just like, oh, sod it, I just can't take it anymore. He looks just like he's not, he doesn't want this game anymore. He just wants to go home. Maybe drink some nice cup of tea. But I really pulled all registers on this one. And even though this head surely does not belong to this sprue, it really looks like it's made for it. The pirate trooper chewing on some rope, his signature base toppings, making me crave for cookies again. Great. Can't use that now. Another very weird head conversion. I think there's something weird about space marines with heads that have actual hair and not just the either overboarding beards of space puppies or the clean-shaven heads of every other chapter. It just looks strange. Oh, and for you folk at home who are not live here, chat is currently going on about the various different forms of art in the last 40 years or something. You people are much too educated for this kind of hobby. You all make me feel bad and look stupid. But then again, I'm pretty good at that myself. So, yeah, Doug used all kinds of bits and pieces. This is something, I guess, from the Indomitus box, the drone. Necron Army, Stargrave, it doesn't say where's it from, but I'm pretty sure this is from the Indomitus box, because I've built that weird thing myself, which wasn't that easy. And now we're up to terrain. So this is interesting, but not that much that very special indeed. This this asks for a second look because this is a power adapter. Why do you use a power adapter for terrain? Yes, Dutch, I've seen Fritz the Cat. Great movie. And then we've got some more terrain made from more or less just sprues. And this is what I really like. Elevator thing. Again, cookies, sprues, and a little bit. Some containers. Scratch built from cocktail sticks, chain, and packaging. Old Pringles can, and an old apnea mask pipe. Things you usually don't have lying around that much. I'm talking, of course, about the mask pipe. The Pringles can is something I think more or less everybody had lying around at some point. Worker box. Does he say where these models come from? Space Zombie. Can't say it. Weird. Does anybody in chat know where the bucks come from? Crispin isn't weird Dutch. He's just Crispin. And we all love him for it. Queen bug. Well, I'd say it looks more like a king bug, but then again, I'm not a... what's that type of biologist. So what do I know? Before I bore everybody to death, we go to the next project, which is Odds, Sods, and Stuff from Irish Steve. This is one. This is a project where I'm actually a bit sad that Jerry isn't here, because this is, and Steve is going to hate me for bringing it up. We'll just take this picture, for example, and we'll look at it, and you people tell me what's wrong with this miniature. No, Dutch mode lines would be too obvious. That would be way too easy. Yeah, Crispin the Black is amazing, and as always, he's just too much of a talented cocksucker. Yes, Dutch. The lightsaber is bent. And the when he started painting it, I noticed that the sword was a bit bendy, and I asked him, well, don't you want to fix that maybe? And I think he was a bit pissed, because he already had straightened it. So this is the best the plastic would allow him to do. Which then makes me think, why still bother painting and not just cutting it off and adding a different piece of plastic? To be fair, Steve, if I was that talented of a painter like you are, I would have cut that thing. I'm guessing it's not an option because it's possibly a work for a customer. I didn't check the description. But if you invest that amount of time into a relatively simple paint job, quote unquote, so black and a bit red, you better make sure your model looks the part. Oh, Dutch, are you getting Cloudflare? Oh, that's not nice. Not nice. So, but yeah, Steve really, really kicked it. And just in case you didn't know, this is the, if I'm not mistaken, the the limited edition Vader that was only sold at Star Wars convention in the USA 3 years ago at this point. How bloody hell time flies. Yeah, but this is one of the better sculpts for Legion. Though I'm pretty happy that he didn't go for the box standard base that came with the miniature. That he did a bit more of it. Nicely done, Mr. Bendy Man. I'm sorry. No, not. But there's not much fun in other people's hobby than being a cunt. So let's try the next project, if anybody's still following along. Huzza by Fog. So this is just a short entry, so this will be quick. Last time when we were here, he made these very black armors, which do still look very nice. And now he's done Wargames Foundry, Hajduk, Polish infantry, if I'm not mistaken. And just let's take a look at this. Aren't these cheery little fellows with their moustache and their guns? Though I think they need a bit more blood on the axe. And I'm not quite sure. I think I saw some paint mishap at one point. Can you see that? Yes, you can. I think that's a bit much yellow in his face. I don't think it was supposed to be that much yellow. What happened there, Fog? Was it a slip of the brush? Or is it actually on purpose? Well, we'll just leave it there. And maybe one of you will put a comment into his project asking what happened. Why is that poor sod running on the battlefield with egg in his face? Next one then is this. If you can still access the project system. This is Denzian. He has been moving his hobby space into his shed. We had been here a while ago when he was just sorting everything out, which is, I think, the first thing you should do. And his nice Rogue's Drift uniform needs to go, so I think I wouldn't put it in a box and put it into a garage. But then, if I read the entry correctly, the uniform itself is still in house, but this dresser dummy just went into it. So that's in his spare room. I think this looks nice. I wonder what would happen if you went to somebody's home and you were greeted by a Zulu warrior and somebody in a colonial uniform. Yeah, Crispin, a new house, or even a house as is, would be a very nice thing for me too. So if somebody has connections to Santa Claus, I know Dutch is looking actively for a house of his own as well. Current markets are just completely bloated. I'm waiting for the bubble to burst, to be perfectly honest. But that's not here nor there. One problem when doing hobby in an old garage is, yeah, not much light coming through these windows. So, this is the before picture. This is the picture after some gardening. And then some some bad things happened. He opened the window and yeah, his frame was so rotten the glass fell out, which is something I haven't seen happen before. Yeah, maybe Crispin, that bush could use a what's it called? A Brazilian wax treatment. But he's making progress. He now has a window that is allowing light to come in, and then even more light. Lighting strips all around. I think this is one of the greatest technical advancements in modern world, which reaps the greatest benefits for us in the hobby, because LEDs are cheap, bright, and they make for awesome painting lights. '90s landing strip, maybe. Bushes. I'm sorry if I'm drinking very too much today, but it's winter season in the northern hemisphere, and the air is quite dry with all the radiators running, and that's really taking a toll on my nostrils, as you may well hear. Yeah, 6500K hobby light. That's a very very nice one. Yeah, this picture right now, Panzer, that's a fluorescent light strip, but these ones he has got on the side, that's an LED strip, which makes very bright light. But let's not forget there are other projects in town that need to be looked at. Uglip, we're again in the Fallout universe, but this is a sheer coincidence. Elder Maxon and Lancia, those are characters from Fallout 4, if I remember correctly. So, a different kind of heroes, and also some terrain. Again, I'm a bit torn about Modifius selling their terrain as STL files, but then again, it's possibly more viable for everybody to do it that way. Simply because the models are already there, and they just need to make sure that they can be printed in a more or less easy way. So I think now I'm actually torturing the hamsters. I'm sorry, hamsters. No, I'm not. This is going to take a while. Or maybe stick with the preview. So last time we were here, he started making his what is he called? Toxic goo pits. And then went on using some craft paint and some very bright greens in the center, which again shows if you're doing big pieces of terrain, don't use your small expensive hobby paints. Get yourself some cheap simple craft paints, and they can really be cheap. You only want some pigments to stick to your material, basically. And if you look at the final result, this is just lovely. If we would look at the final results when the hamsters at some point decide to put a bit more pressure on the pipe, I think this is going to be horrible. Oh, I'm sorry, people. I think we need to stick to small pictures for this one. Yeah, I love the glittering shininess of the goo pit. Good night, Dutch. Have a good one. Thanks for being here. We will see you tomorrow in the Discord again, I guess. So, goopy water is an AK interactive swamp water effect. Which, funnily enough, is a thick goop. Well, then it's quite perfectly suited for this kind of application. Yeah, this is one of the models that that's no fun anymore. So this is again a model that Modifius sells as an STL file. I know it's a wreckage and I shouldn't be bothered that much, but the print lines are really horrible. Especially in the section here with the where the model in-game actually is hollow because there's no glass in them anymore. Well, it's nothing too horrible per se because it's a wreckage, but then again, it looks too much forced. Maybe this would have been a candidate for the method that I think Jerry was discussing on the XLBS, with where somebody is spraying resin, UV resin, through an airbrush to smoothen things out. I think that could work on that model very well. If Justin was watching porn at OTT, I don't think it would be that horrible for us because, let's face it, men watching porn don't take that much time. It's getting in and out and done and dusted. I like his little his little vault tech entrance. Only downside to this piece is you can only use it as a side piece, because if you put that thing in the middle of the board, it would look a bit weird. Because where would you go? We could just go through it, but that wouldn't really work in game now. But all in all, also the fact that he's getting screenshots just to make sure that his colors on his minis are correct. I really like the amount of attention to detail. Oh, now it's loading. This was more or less the important part I was wanting to look at, because this is again a very good display of, if you look close, you can see it's, I'm tempted to say it's a rough paint job, but that isn't really what I'm trying to say. You can see where the brush went and that it's not too many different colors. But if you look at it on this picture, which is more or less, at least on my side for how I'm sitting in front of the monitor, looking like it would be looking on the table. So this is a paint job that looks phenomenal on a gaming table while playing. And that's more or less the level of painting quality I'm trying to achieve myself for most of my minis. The Lemmy from Dunkeldorf will get a different treatment. I'm not sure if he will actually look different in the end, but I'm sure as hell going to try to make him look outstanding from most of my other paint jobs. Second to last for tonight, Horatio Noseblower. First and foremost, Santiago, again, thank you. You are a horrible person for sending me that much stuff. So not only did he send me a painted and very nicely modeled Chewbacca with Christmas decorations, teddy bears, and presents in the bag. No, he also got me this. This is more or less a start collecting box for Warhammer Age of Sigmar Uruk boys. I think this was the first iteration of Uruk boys, because it's still containing the 6th edition War Chariot. You're mad, lad. Back to your project. Maybe we can find something to roast you about. So, and here again, what I was saying earlier, Harryhausen. Not only the Jinn we already seen in an earlier episode where it wasn't painted, But now he's getting weird magic and Cyclops. And I think once the main image is loaded, we will all agree on that this Cyclops is looking exactly like Harryhausen. Love the little magic dude. Loving the Cyclops once he's loaded even more. Oh, come on, you damn stupid piece of technology. Yeah, Demon, that's really early Christmas for, and one part feels very bad because I got 2 times the orc content from the 6th edition box from Warhammer Fantasy Battle. Adding this makes a real big orc force for fantasy. And I don't have any fantasy system I play, so I'm now either need to learn old Warhammer Fantasy Battle rules, just for the sheer fun of it, or I need to get myself some 9th Age rules or any other system that uses rank and file. Because what he didn't send was the bases, which is okay because they were round. And now I need to dig out my square bases and put them on the correct basings. But back to his project. Now, this is definitely a Harryhausen reference, and I'm pretty sure some of you will actually know the movie. I'm not quite sure which one it is, but it is a lovely piece of miniature. Quote unquote miniature, judging just by its size. Kings of War, Panzer, is it using that many miniatures? I was always under the impression Kings of War was a bit more smaller than Warhammer, but that may be just my feeble brain not comprehending every system under the planet. And I'm guessing you're right, Sinbad could be the one. I may have to find out where all the old movies are currently streamed and watch some of them again, because as much as I like intricate computer animations and cartoony movies, the Harryhausen stop animations are just something I really, really have a big place in my heart. A Ral Patha model, you say? No, because this is 3D printed, I'm guessing that's not Ral Patha, but then again, maybe Ral Patha is already selling STLs? Well, DD7 Saucer, nope, doesn't tell where he's got them from. So maybe, Horatio, add that information. Where did you get those files from? Did you make them yourself? Did you nick it? Argonauts, yes, Clash of Titans. Wasn't there also already also a something from the Odysseus? Can't remember. Well, somewhere in my notes there is one more link for us today to chat about. And it's this one. Retreat from Moscow. Yeah, we have been here not so long ago, but Little Scripps has added some very interesting things. So let's see, where did we end? I think we were somewhere. Yes, just so the Nosferatu was the last one we looked at. That's over a month ago, 5 to 6 weeks. His I'm pretty sure we made that joke last time that the foxes, or wolves rather, look a bit constipated. I think he managed to rectify that by the paint job. They don't look as much constipated anymore. Like they would take a dump at any minute. And we have these very lovely brigands. Female, Vivandier. It's just... These look so... I'm not saying realistic, but alive almost, because the colors look naturally faded, not too bright, not too muted. Not an awful lot amount of overemphasized detailing. And if you just look at them, yeah, these look just very cool. And the small details that are there, that like this one on the very far left, I don't know if you know, it's not on screen. Sorted. He's got a hole in his trousers. I think, yeah, you can see it again there. A model hole. I guess I would have not seen that if I were to paint these. I probably would just have thought that would be a weird piece of clothing and made it the same color as the rest of the trousers, but it's obviously a hole. A werewolf looking more like a... He's not looking like a werewolf to me, but more like somebody who's out in the boxing ring fighting against Muhammad Ali or something. And Pete, I can absolutely understand why this project would be the tipping point for somebody who's already very much into historical gaming and has a soft spot for Barons' War and very British Civil War and whatever else there's in that region. This is, I think this is a interesting take on the subject of historical with just enough fantasy and fictional history to make for a very entertaining game. It's not, at least from what I can tell, not so far over the moon that you would be going, this is completely and utterly unbelievable. It's like a children's good night story at a campfire to scare the little ones a bit. It's scary, but only a bit, and I completely again. I shouldn't be talking and opening bottles that are containing carbonized drinks. Hooray for tissue paper. Please stand by while my brain reboots. This is a movement I shouldn't be doing on stream. Stroking the bottle from the top to the down. This could be misinterpreted by the algorithm. You're very much welcome. I don't think that's a nightmare for children, Crispin. And I think if you were to play this game on any convention where there's also a high frequency of historicals, I think most people wouldn't really notice the fantastical nature of it. And I love the fact I've just seen that Scripps has put this in the related genre of historical. Well, it's debatable, I think. Is it really historical? Maybe. Possibly not. Eventually, we will find out at some point. So, all of you that are still here, thank you. My nose is starting to kill me, slowly suffocating. I thank everybody who has done a splendid job at their projects and letting me rip about them. Here's hoping Jerry's work schedule will be a bit more easy next week and that he will join us again. If he will not, we will think of something completely different, just to shake up things a bit. Yeah, Demon Sub, you're right. Silver Bayonet is probably more historically accurate than most of Hollywood's movies that claim to be based on historical events and then totally run off in a completely different direction. Since we only have 3 weeks left until Christmas, and it's not even 3 weeks, make sure you've got all your gifts ready. And if you... how to put this? If you have anything you really want to see on this show this year, send me a message, make a comment on the video when it's on YouTube, or just shout at me and scream next time. Maybe I will listen. With that, I say thank you, everybody. Thanks again, Horatio and Lena, for their very kind donations. And I hope you'll have a nice evening. See you next week. And now get the fuck out. I'm going home.